Hello everybody, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you've been following along, if you watched the last video, you know that we wrapped that car, got it more or less finished up. We're waiting on a motor to do anything else to it, and we're now working on tearing this car down. This is the car that we ran all of 2024. We ran one race with that car and then we put it on hold. So every other race this year was run with this car. We're now tearing it down, gonna clean it real good. We're gonna do a little work to the rear end and go back together with it, and then we'll go and test both cars and find out which one we're going to try and make the primary car for this year, or for this coming year. So first thing on the agenda for us is getting what we need to do on the rear end done. We're going to shorten it up a little bit. This car's got a long wheelbase. We're going to go to a shorter wheelbase on it, so we're taking the control arms off, the trailing arms off, and third link and all that stuff, and shortening everything up. So we're going to do that, and then we'll be just cleaning and going through everything on it, getting ready to put the body back on it and start putting it back together.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, Stephen has to work today. I'm fortunate enough I'm off for 2 weeks between Christmas and first of the year. So you get Mr. Personality. Those of you that watch the channel probably understand. Today we're going to work on some sway bar arms. Was going to finish painting the body, but it's been raining all morning and we have to paint outside, so that's not an option today. So I'm going to work on some sway bar arms, try to get this thing closer to being ready. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but this is the way we do it. I've got the control arms up where they go. Got my pieces cut from a sway bar so we can fabricate from there on out. That should get the sway bar neutral to start with, and then we can use our heims to get our load where we want it. The problem we had before was the sway bar was loading up too much. We'd have an 1 3/8 sway bar and it would load up to 1,700 pounds. So we figured that out. So now I'm gonna refabricate these arms, make them lighter, make it where we can adjust it like it should be. These are the patterns I used on the other car, and I'm hoping that they'll work for this car as well. And it looks like they will, so we're in good shape there. All right, now we have two matching pieces, or as close as you can get them grinding. Like I say, without a plasma table, it's hard to do some stuff, but we make do. All right, guys, got the pieces fabricated for both arms. Now we gotta wait on Steven to get home. He has to mill the arms. The part that goes on the sway bar has to mill it down so we can weld all this stuff together. Can't make the pieces for the center until he does that, so we'll know what size they need to be. And so I guess that's about it until he gets here.
All right, guys, it is now Saturday. I don't think I recorded nothing since Thursday. Same deal over here. Still cleaning up on this car. I guess it was either the last race or the race before last. Something is leaking on the transmission bad on this car. We bought that transmission. Now I don't remember. Come to think of it, there's another transmission somewhere in this shop. I don't know where it is. But I'm pretty sure this transmission, one of them we bought used, I don't know. Either way, one's always been a little funny to me, and I think it's this one, maybe. Either way, it's leaking, and so when you're running and also spraying stuff underneath the car, even though it's not a lot, it just spreads everywhere under there. So everything under this car is like grimy and oily, and it's taking a long time to clean up, but that's what we're doing at the moment, still cleaning up on this car. Over here on the other side of the shop, Dad is making sway bar arms. And Adam is welding them at the moment. Go and check that out. We make our own sway bar arms. We actually just took old ones and cut them, and now we're refabricating them, because the tool to make those splines right there costs more than I want to spend for four sway bar arms. But anyway, that's what they're doing over here. So, same old stuff for the moment. At some point we got to get that motor out. I don't know when it's coming out, but at some point the motor will be out of this car, and we'll go to cleaning on all the chassis and all that. So. Okay, there y'all have it. Another motor out. still got some cleaning to do where the motor was, but either way, it is out and ready to have whatever done to it. It's got to be sealed. So we got to find someone that's willing to seal it without fully going through it or whatever, but because we can't afford it.
It's not time.
Yeah.
We won't have to go completely through a motor that's got 7 races on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever explained that deal, but the dude that built that motor is Jeff Hamner. Hamner got kicked out of the Seal Alliance deal.
No, he quit.
He quit. So, okay, I'll explain the whole story to you. They tested one of his motors. One of his motors won a race, and they do this thing called whistling a motor. And the tool that whistles is only accurate within like 0.2. And so it was close to the line, but it was like at tolerance, blinking out of tolerance. It wasn't landing on either number. It was jumping back and forth. Either way, they said, hey, that motor's illegal. And how the seal deal works is if you get caught with, if you build an illegal motor, you have to like pay a fine, and you're kicked out for a year, and then after that year you pay $5,000 or whatever it is, and then you're allowed to build motors again.
Or you're put on probation.
Or you're, yeah, either way. Unless they like you, in which case you just add a little bit of weight and you keep going. No big deal. But Hamner was the exception of that. They don't like Hamner, so they kicked him out. Or they didn't kick him out, they were going to fine him real big, and he was like, I'm not going to pay that fine. So they said, okay. And they said to everybody that was running a Hamner, you've got until the end of the year, and then you're not going to be able to run that motor anymore until you get it sealed, or else you're going to carry a 100-pound weight limit, or a 100-pound weight penalty. So that motor right there has got 7 races on it. So it's not time to be rebuilt, and we also can't run it anymore because it has bad seals on it now, even though it is a legal motor. So now we've got to find someone that's willing to put seals on it without completely going through the motor, because one, the parts in it aren't ready to be replaced. There's nothing that needs to be freshened up on it yet. And two, it's expensive. So wherever it goes, we've got to find somewhere that will just go through it, say, yes, that is a legal motor, and then reseal it. Or we'll just have to take it to someone and have them rebuild it. But if that's the case, it's going to be a while down the road before we can do that. But either way, all that aside, the motor is out. So whenever it leaves, whatever happens to it, we're completely without a motor at this point. When that one leaves, there won't be a motor sitting in this shop anymore. But either way, we will continue cleaning on this one, and we're almost ready. We've got everything done on it, minus finishing my little bit of cleaning. So we're about ready to go back on with the body. And once we get the body back on this one, we'll be, like I said just a second ago, we'll be waiting on a motor. We won't have a motor. So I don't know. We'll see how the time frame works out on when we get done with this car and when we get a motor back. But either way, that'll all be in the coming videos. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date on what we do. We've also got a Facebook page that during race season we give updates on race day. It's just my name and the number 84 again, just like YouTube. So like I said, if you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, leaving a like or a comment or something like that, and we will catch y'all in the next video.